Welcome back, Portugal Junkies.
Hello, and good morning.
We missed you. It's been a whole week.
Yes. Lots has happened.
Yeah.
Lots has happened.
I chopped my hair off.
You did?
And we went kayaking.
We did that as well.
It's a good week.
It was a very alternative type of week.
Why?
Well, because we don't normally go kayaking and you don't normally cut your hair off.
That's true. A lot of special things happened this week.
Yeah.
But I think it deserves a little story because this is what we did. And I'll put the link to our excursion in the notes of the show. But we decided to go with our friends Kara and Charlie. Shout out. And by the way, they have a podcast too called We Tap Out. So go listen.
Yeah.
Basically, we've been talking about going kayaking since we all met each other back in, I don't know, December or something. Yeah. And the most iconic way to do this and place to do this in the Algarve is typically, I say iconic, it is iconic, but it's probably also the most popular. The Benegil
That's
Caves.
for sure. Yeah.
Benegil Caves.
Yeah.
And so if you've ever done any research on the Algarve, it is one of the most popular places.
You'd instantly recognise it from any Instagram or photo that you've seen. I mean, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever. It's the one with the big hole that all the lighting comes into. So
you go in the cave and then there's a big hole.
Yeah. And I will say that a lot of when you see it in person with its the colours that it is, and again, probably depending on different times of the day and all the rest of it, but there are some photos out there that are that's definitely been photoshopped.
Well, here's
in terms of the colour.
You can never, ever, ever.
No, you won't recreate it.
You can't. We've tried to video things here. We've tried, especially the beaches and the beautiful caves and the cliffs, and it's no picture, no video can ever do it justice.
No.
So we went on it was supposed to be an hour.
Yeah, it was more like an hour and 40.
It was almost 2 hours. Yeah. So the Benegil Cave, so the place where we were was near Algarve, one of our favorite places.
Yep.
And basically we got an Uber over there. We found our spot where we were to get our equipment and all that and get in touch with our
safety brief, all the rest of it,
tour leader. We were lucky because I guess we were the only ones who signed up for that time slot. It was just the four of us and the tour guide. And he was great. Shout out to Conrad.
Yep.
But basically, I don't know how many meters. How many meters would you say from where we put in the kayak to the Benegil Cave? It was literally around the corner.
400 meters?
Yeah.
500 maybe?
So then
Max.
That was just the beginning because then we had a lot more time and we went to see all these other caves along the coast too. And
Pirates Cave.
Beautiful.
Which is pretty, that was really
Cave.
Cool, yeah. Was it Butterfly Cave or was it something like that?
There
is one
two.
called,
Butterfly? Sorry.
There is one called Butterfly, but I don't know if that was the one that we went into. But for sure, Benegil was absolutely amazing.
I might be saying it wrong.
But the other ones we went into, which were kind of less known, but they were just absolutely fantastic because you went in one part of the cave and you came out in another section. So you're sort of just meandering through under the rock, and it was just absolutely fantastic. And it's I'm not going to say deathly dark in there.
It was,
but it's pretty damn dark.
It's pretty dark, and then you come around the bend and you see the other
flood
exit,
of light.
and a flood of light. It was really magical.
Yeah.
It was beautiful, and it
was like seeing the light at the end of the tunnel moment. Literally. Although it's not a tunnel.
Right, but we weren't dying. Let's
I felt like
I don't know. Maybe we did have some challenges. Maybe we felt our age a little bit that day.
Yeah, maybe.
Made us want to go to the gym more. Anyway.
Which,
it was beautiful. So we wanted to tell you guys about that because it is, again, kayaking is not, I'm so unathletic, it's not even funny. Okay, that's my disclaimer. And if I can do it, anyone can get on a kayak and row. Now, again, there's some skill that is involved sometimes because we were tandem, and Mark was not happy about that because, he doesn't trust anybody but himself.
Yeah.
and he was terrified I was going to throw him out of the boat.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen, so we're good. We're still married.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that it's a great way. I'm just trying to get back to. It's a great way for even newbies to experience the cliffs and the coastline of the Algarve in a way that is more intimate than a boat ride.
Oh, for definite.
Or a speedboat, which we've done too. I'll link that one too.
We did.
Speedboat was fun.
We did the speedboat before they stopped allowing speedboats in.
Yeah,
so
and that's the thing. That's true. So we did that in August of last year, I think. And the speedboats were allowed to go up in Bennegill Caves then, but now they're not.
Not allowed. I'm going to hang out.
And kayaks and paddleboarders are allowed, but they're not allowed to beach in there. So they've just regulated it more so that, tourists are not ruining.
It just protects it. And I think it's a fantastic thing. You want to see inside it? Go and see inside it. But, there's only a couple of ways you can do it.
Right.
I wouldn't suggest swimming.
It's stunning. I would love to go back and do it again, and I hope we do. We're probably going to kayak more locally to Tavir before we do that. But so beautiful.
It was absolutely stunning. And then finished off with a lovely lunch at Boneka Bar.
Oh yeah, Boneka Bar, which is like down in the caves, like a bar in the caves.
Well, it's set outside, but it's within the
cliffs.
The cliffscape.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's really cool. Very cool.
It was delicious too.
Yes. So.
We shared
That was our shout out for what did we do this week that was different?
That's right.
Yeah, that was very different. A lot of fun.
But this week we thought we would remind you guys of so we've been doing a lot of content around what it's been like to be here now that we've been here for a year and a half, right? But I want to take it back again for people who are considering moving here. I think it's probably more of a real idea in people's heads more than ever because of what the hell is going on in the U.S. right now.
Yeah.
And so we thought we would remind you guys of our top 5 resources that we would recommend anybody who is thinking about moving to Portugal to tap into earlier rather than later.
Absolutely.
So
let's hit it off.
We have 5.
Let's hit it off. Let's do number 1.
Start with 1.
Start with 1. No, let's start with 2. Let's just
I would say the number 1, and these are not ranked, but the first one that comes to mind is an immigration attorney.
Yeah.
And the disclaimer is this for us. We did not use our current immigration attorney.
Correct.
To do start to finish, hand holding, help us get our visa situation. That is available, and I think that it really just depends on your situation. Mm-hmm. Some people are fine with being involved and doing it, and some people want to pay someone to try to help them get this done as quickly as possible, which they don't have any more leeway on the time frame than anybody else, but they do have insight, I think, on the regulations and what is required and all the things that are constantly changing. Mm. So we love our immigration attorney, but I wanted to make sure everybody knew that we didn't use him from start to finish, but he is available from start to finish. Yep. He also is available for a la carte stuff, and you can find him in our stand store, and he offers a discount if you go through our stand store to get in touch with him. Yeah, but his name is João Pinto, and he's awesome.
Yeah. Very good at with English, written and very spoken, so you can feel very sort of, you'll feel it easy to navigate conversations with him.
Yeah.
It's very, very good at listening.
And also, for those of you who are interested in getting in touch with someone who's an immigration attorney, he also deals with the real estate side. So when he talks about like from start to finish, the finish point is not getting your visa to him. To him, it's if you're interested in a lease review or you're interested in buying a property, that's who you can also talk to. You really just need a lawyer. Yeah. More than anything else.
I think in one of these episodes, in one of the podcasts, I think because you're going to be going away soon, I think what I'm going to do is break off. I'm going to do a section on real estate.
That would be good.
just
think that would be good.
specifically on real estate.
Yeah.
Maybe touch on the golden visa. Anyway, but yeah, Joao is somebody that has been there, done it.
And we have loved working with him.
Very helpful. He's helped a few of our clients as well.
Yes.
Done some work for them.
And again, all
positive results as well.
We have only partnered with him.
Yep.
Basically, we're only going to promote the person that we know and that we've worked with.
Absolutely.
So that's number one. You can get more information in our Stan store at stan.store/Portugal Junkies. My dear, sweet listeners, I say this with all the love in my heart. If you haven't traveled in beautiful Portugal yet, what are you waiting for? You are missing out big time. Iconic beaches, delicious wine, centuries of history, and honestly, some of the most beautiful people that you will ever meet. Why do you think we moved here? So, when you're ready, we are ready to help you plan the most perfect customized Portugal itinerary just for you, and more importantly, how you like to travel. Family trip with the kiddos, lazy girl travel, history buffs, foodies, combinations of all of those, we got you. After exploring Portugal since 2022 and then immigrating here, we're really excited to build travel plans for you that help you see this gorgeous, special place by understanding the way that you like to travel. Book a free call with us right now on our Stan store at stan.store/Portugal Junkies, and we'll talk through your ideal trip and start planning your customized Portugal itinerary. You'll even get your final itinerary on an app to use during your trip for easy access right on your phone while you're here. Remember, adventure is a verb, y'all. We're excited to help you plan yours.
Number 2 will be a CPA, as you would know it, but a tax accountant here. Now, we have used and love using Rui Borges as ours, and we've used him from the start. I think
from the start,
never changed anywhere. Very, very good. But I think the other good thing about Rui is that he put us in touch with a US-based CPA.
Yes,
which is helpful as well, because you know that you're going to need help both sides. Well, I say not everybody does, because somebody might actually be a CPA. But my point is that if you're not, and if you're thinking, okay, how the heck do I get this and that to line up, and what do I do first? I think it's really important to know that you can have 2 people, separate entities, but you know you're going to be covered on both sides from a US perspective. Different if it's UK, whatever. Not sure who you'd speak to about that. But Rui himself is absolutely fantastic.
He is.
Very knowledgeable. If you're wanting help with tax, if you're wanting, so if you want to start up as a freelancer, if you want to start an LDA or a incorporated company, he can help you with setting it up. He can help you talking it through, working out, okay, well, if you're going to be a startup, where's best place to start? Is it better to start as a freelancer? And then if it takes ground and makes more money, there's probably going to be a threshold where you want to switch to an LDA to protect yourself and all of these sorts of things. Not speaking for him, not tax advice or any sort of advice, other than he's a fantastic guy with incredible knowledge to speak to and get what works for you, because everybody's situation is different. You see adverts out there saying, come, what is it? It's like, let us know what you need. Here's everything you need to know. And it's like, well, how do you know that? Unless you speak to the person. Yeah. And again, great English, very thorough, very
I wish my Portuguese
helpful.
Was as good as it
Yeah, well, we're back into that. So,
well, here's the thing I would think about if you are considering a move. Meeting with them, even if you're just doing a per hour session with these guys, to me, it's so worth it just for planning purposes and to understand what you may or may not be getting into when you move here. The tax implications and things like that, I can't even begin to give you any kind of feedback on without the help of Rui. And he has been on here a couple of times. So there's other podcasts interviewing him and talking about the the tax situations here and kind of highlights of what you need to know.
Yep.
But again, I think it's important when you're trying to make a move abroad anyway, that you have some initial conversations about what the landscape looks like from a tax perspective.
What am I expected to do?
And then, of course, with the immigration, it can be complicated. It doesn't have to be complicated, but it can be because of how rapidly things change and the bureaucracy here.
Right.
So I love those guys. And again, I go back to, we only have partnered with those two and we only refer people to those two because we've personally worked with them.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Again, it's stan.store/Portugal Junkies. You can find Hui and Joao there, and they offer a discount by, coming through us. So feel free to work with them or connect at least and figure that out.
Absolutely.
All right, so those are our top two resources. Yep. Third one.
Okay, I'm going to switch it up a little bit because
I love it when he does this, and I'm like, "What are you switching up, buddy?"
Facebook groups.
Oh.
Okay.
It's true, though. They make our top 5.
They do make the top 5. There are an incredible amount of Facebook groups out there with varying amounts of members and, more specifically, very varying amounts of knowledge.
True.
My advice, because I will give my advice on this one, is whatever you read, make sure you personally double check against your situation. End of.
Yeah.
If you're going to join some of these Facebook groups, be aware that there are some keyboard warriors out there. Be aware that some of the administration efforts can be quite ridiculously offensive. Mm-hmm. There are, again, I'm not trying to shout them down, but take everything with a pinch of salt and double, triple check whatever advice it is that you think you might take from somebody offering it. Now,
then why does it make our top 5 resources then?
Because I think that there are some out there that offer files, that offer information that is as up to date.
Yes.
That is as up to date as you can probably get without trying to find it yourself.
Yes.
I would say if there's 10 Facebook groups, join all 10 of them.
You'll see.
And then you'll start to see which ones get just like the padding out of members just chit-chatting. And then you get the ones that will say, you'll find that information in the files section. Go to files, go to this, go to that. You'll find it as a PDF, boom, done. And in some of those Facebook groups, and I'm not mentioning any of them, whether they're good, bad, or indifferent, some of those files are the files that we trusted and used in our preparation to come here. And while things might have changed, and I'm sure that they keep up to date as best they can, because things do change on a pretty quick basis in some places. A change might be affected in Braga, but it hasn't happened in the Algarve yet, or things like that. So again, they are a fantastic resource. Just be
that's a disclaimer.
Ultra careful.
Yes. I will also say this. So yes, we have joined many, many, many Facebook groups leading up to moving here. The one thing I would also caution people about is the one-offs. So you are never going to hear about all of the success stories, but you will inevitably hear about the one crazy situation that someone ran into during their appointment that nobody has heard of before, and it happened to them.
Yep.
That does not mean it's the norm, and that does not mean that you should believe and be worried about that. There were so many things leading up to our visa appointment that kept me up at night. Mm-hmm. And you just have to put it in perspective. Okay. You are always going to hear about the crazy situations that might happen randomly. Yep. And that really does suck for that particular person that it happened.
Absolutely.
But it's not usually the norm and what you should be expecting to happen to you. Not that it can't happen to you. It's just don't freak when you see people posting about some of those things, because I think those are few and far between, and it'll drive you crazy.
Yeah.
So that's my other cautionary tale.
Without
But I do say, join the Facebook groups. If you have a question about which ones to join, I'm not willing to name them here.
No.
But if you are interested in knowing who we have, what groups that we're in, you can message us, and we'll be happy to do that. I don't mean to be there's reasons, and I just
also, there's 10 out there, and if we mention 9 of the ones that we're in and didn't mention the other one, it's like, oh, you didn't mention us. It wasn't intentional. We're not that not yet.
We're not
Come on,
that
world,
popular.
make us bigger.
Hey babe, how many times do you think that we rode the should we or shouldn't we move to Portugal roller coaster before we actually did it?
I don't know, maybe like 193 times.
Wouldn't it have been so cool if we had us during that time, to talk to?
Absolutely, I'd love talking to us.
Me too! So, we've decided we are going to be the us we needed for you guys. If you want to shoot the shit, ask us anything, or just get some real life perspective from our experience of moving from the US to Portugal, we are now opening up our calendar for one-on-one calls. We can also hook you up with some of our best legal, immigration, and tax partners who helped us along the way. You can choose a mini call for 30 minutes, or if you're talky-talky like me, an hour, and we'll hop on Zoom together to answer anything we can for you as you try to decide what's best for you in your potential move to Portugal. Book with us right now on our Stan store at stan.store/Portugal Junkies, and we'll see you there.
Okay, so we got immigration attorney, CPA, Facebook groups, and number 4 of the top resources
Numbeo.
Yes, Numbeo.com, Numbeo.com. Hands down, if you want to know, this is I just love it. Mark was the one who found it. You probably found it on a Facebook group. Probably.
And they were done, actually.
So it is a website that will let you compare city to city. So I'll give you our example. Charlotte to, at the time, Porto, when we were moving. And it will give you a broken down comparison, line by line, of cost of living items.
Yep.
Everything from big picture, like rent per square foot or meter.
Now that's an average.
On average, right? Down to like a bottle of beer.
Yeah.
Okay? Like if I wanted to look up how much does a pair of jeans cost in Charlotte right now versus Porto or Tavira. It is brilliant, and I still love to mess with it because I just think
it's kind of fun as well.
Well, it's only fun when the place that you're moving is more affordable than the place.
So now if we had to do the comparison game and like, oh my goodness, let's think we're going to, in 5 years' time, we're going to move somewhere else. It's going to be, okay, cost of living in Portugal versus
we'll see.
England is like, oh,
my goal is to always, if we leave anywhere, we're going to a more affordable place.
Equal or less.
That's right.
For definite.
But I do think it helps you really to understand and nail down, those of you guys who are looking at budgets, which you should, and really understand like what it will cost you to live here. I think it's brilliant. And it's also a good tool to help you decide between places. A couple of weeks ago, we did an episode on how to pick your perfect place. Yep. And I think I recommended this there too. It's because it's such a cool resource. Yeah. And it just, to me, it enlightens you very quickly about what areas are in and which ones might be out. And, it's just so important, I think, that you understand your budget. And understand when you're making such a big, especially when you're moving a family or something.
I was going to say,
I'm
not going to say it's any different for, whether it's just you, me, and the dog versus husband, wife, and 3 kids.
Well, there's more impact.
There's definitely more impact.
Right?
But at the same time, it's probably, it's even more important to make sure that you've got that budget in line
Right.
with what you
And you're not making
actually,
financial mistakes
Yeah.
or nothing. I mean, you're always going to have surprises. Let's
I mean,
not.
I was going to say,
play.
let's not mess around. We made some mistakes,
Of course.
and you know,
Consciously.
we've been extremely open about the
Yeah.
financial mistakes that we made
Yes.
back in different episodes,
Yeah.
because I think it's important. You know, it can sometimes go really smooth, and then suddenly, like, something comes up in front of you, and you think, "Oh shit, didn't expect that." So Numbio.com, absolute wonderful piece of kit,
Wonderful piece of kit.
fantastic, fandabidolzy.
Can we talk about the word kit? Just as a sidebar here, when you say kit, you can apply the word kit to many things.
Oh yes, I can.
So a piece of kit to you is what?
So, like, a piece of kit could be your football, like soccer, football stuff, like your football kit, footy kit.
What is kit?
Kit. It's like a group of things
That go with that thing.
with that thing. So,
Okay.
footy kit, all the kit for the
gym kit.
all the kit for the camera.
The camera kit.
You
And
probably
now
wouldn't say camera
Numbio
kit.
is a good piece of kit.
It's a great piece. Fandabidolzy.
Okay, fifth resource.
Yep.
And we're going to tag ourselves here. Come on. It's our
Us.
podcast. And I'm sorry, but I think we've done a really good job
We have
of real talk about what it's like to move
about real
here.
life.
The visa process. Now, I give you a disclaimer that it was a year and a half ago, so there are things that are
For
different.
sure, there's
But
a lot.
overwhelmingly, it's like the process is pretty much
Yeah,
the
there's
same. Little things that are different.
some changes.
Like, and then once we got here, the mistakes that we made, so that you guys won't make those same mistakes. Hopefully.
Or if you do, sorry you didn't listen before.
That's right. We can't do it. I mean, if you don't listen to us, I don't know.
Well, I don't know enough. What can I tell you?
And then now that we've been here for, almost a year and a half,
know,
what
it's
it's
crazy.
really like, to live here and this be our home and, what that transition it feels like. And so anyway, I do believe that our podcast is a great resource. And
It really is.
if you're looking for something in particular, I know we have I think this will be episode 45, which is crazy.
Dun, dun, dun.
But if there's something in particular you're looking for and you can't figure out which episode it might be on the title, just send me a message and I'll be happy to help you, get
Direct
to the one that
to which
might
one is
be
most relevant.
most helpful.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely. And I think, again, there's a number of podcasts out there. I was listening to one yesterday, just dip my toe into a new one, which I'll show you later. I didn't mention it yesterday. And they were so excited that they just completed, at that time, they'd just completed their 10th episode. As two ladies that are doing it. And I
love it.
It's absolutely
You
fantastic.
got to start somewhere.
Absolutely. And it's just, I'm really proud that we continued to do this, because it would have been so easy, especially having moved down to the Algarve, to go, do you know what? I don't want to do that now because I want to go enjoy the sunshine or the beach or whatever. But honestly, this brings me a lot of joy. I know, okay, with a caveat, sometimes I will be in a really crabby mood in the morning. It's like, I don't want to do this.
And I have to go.
It's just like,
Honey,
oh, come on, let's do
give me a
this.
little kiss.
I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake,
Love you.
okay, let's do it.
Welcome back, Portugal Junkies. That's how it goes.
Yeah. So I'm really proud of what we've presented all the way along, because we've only ever been ourselves. We're not trying to, be fake about anything. It's completely real. It really is. You've got to remember what lie you told. And that's never a good, easy thing. The other thing I would say, and it, again, wasn't in the list of our thoughts, was I'd love to hear from anybody that's listening what you have found to be something that you've used a lot to make your life easier. Was it something that was to do with, let's say you were moving with your dogs and you used a pet service partner, not put the dog in the hold in a Lufthansa or whatever, but an actual sort of private flight thing, that sort of thing. have you done something through the Golden Visa Network, what it is now?
Right.
I'd love to hear about people's
And then we can
experiences.
talk
Because
more.
then, well, we can talk about it,
Interview
but
them.
also we'd love to be able to get people on to interview them,
Yeah.
have a split screen and sort of have a Zoom
Yeah.
with people and get more sort of involved and more integrated with.
Things that we didn't have to do.
Yeah, exactly. Or that we did
that
a
would
different
still be
way.
helpful.
That would
Yeah.
be extremely helpful to other people, maybe considering it.
Yeah.
Or thinking, I can't do that because I'm not leaving my dog. And, and I get that. We get that completely. But again, I'm sure there are lots of other useful people tools out there
Also,
that we haven't had to experience.
And I would say, anybody, if you have ideas or things that you haven't been able to find the right resources for, send us a note on that too, and we can perhaps do an episode on it. I want to make sure that we are understanding what people really want more of and want to hear about on this podcast, because we didn't do it for us, we did it for others, and I want to continue making content.
Yeah, but I think that we did also do it for us a little bit, because we wanted to memorialize this whole.
Yeah, that's what it maybe began as. But now I feel like it's every time we come on here and we're recording, I'm like, is this valuable?
Right, and I want to make sure that we remain relevant and valuable, because if he's talking about the same stuff time and time again, or every other fourth episode, it's like, it's a bit tiresome. Tiresome.
We are not tiresome. We are Portugal Junkies.
We are Portugal Junkies, and we hope you come back and visit us again.
That's right.
Next week.
Cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
Listen up, future expats. For more content about our move, the visa process, Portuguese culture and destinations, and tons of support resources for your own decisions and potential move abroad, follow us at Substack, TikTok, and Instagram at Portugal Junkies.
Stay in touch and help us reach more people by subscribing here and following us there.
Cheers, y'all!